Well, hello there. My name is Dayo Olajide. I want to welcome you to another beautiful edition of Inspirational Pearls. Okay, last week I talked about the fact that there is no love in marriage. And as I was wrapping it up, I mentioned some of the things you need to look out for before you say yes to a guy or before you get married to him. And I specifically noted that a guy must be economically stable. I try to distinguish between job and work. That's why I said, okay, I'm going to address that on this edition. Now, this information is so relevant in times like this, where our youths go to school to acquire certificates to go to the labor market to hunt for a job. And let me say categorically, as I dive into this matter, that your job is what you've been trained to do, but work is what you were born to do. So if you are going to marry a guy who has been trained to get a job, once he loses the job, he becomes devastated. But if he has discovered work, he has hope that he's going to bounce back again. So, ladies and gentlemen, the main cross of the matter is this: once you were born, God assigned you to a purpose. Now, the primary thing you should live life doing is to discover your purpose for living. Discover your purpose for living. Let me tell you a brief experience I had. One of my friends who got married a couple of years before we did, my wife and I, he worked in a bank and he was a successful banker. He was doing all he could for the bank and he was actually enjoying his job. But somewhere along the line, he got laid off during the recession of 2016. Thereabout, he got laid off, and that was the beginning of the crumbling of his marriage. Now, the first year he couldn't get another job, the second year he couldn't get one, the third year he couldn't get one, and his wife became devastated because he couldn't fulfill his responsibility as a man. Over the years, they kept patching things up until what happened? The marriage broke up. Now, why is this very, very, instructive, and why is it such an apt example for the message I'm passing across today? I discovered deep within that once you are getting married, you need to settle it within yourself. Am I getting married to the guy's job, or am I getting married to his purpose? It is easy to identify a guy who has discovered purpose. He has a passion to bless humanity. There's something in him that says, I am relevant. What makes a guy relevant is not the job he does, it is what he does even without the job. And listen, this purpose is work for life. Might not be earning him money right now, but the ultimate satisfaction that he is blessing souls, that he is affecting humanity, is the payment that takes him to bed at night smiling. But listen, a guy that has found a job is servicing another man's dream, but a man that has found work is actually positioning himself for other people to service his dream. So while you are courting, there are some fundamental questions you should ask. While you are courting, there are some things you should look out for. While you are courting, there are some things you should size up in the life of the person you are dating, because jobs come and jobs go. And as a matter of fact, the greatest reward you can get for having a job is your salary. And once the salary stops, I bet you begin to discover that there is more to marriage than just having a lot of money coming inside. The best thing you can find, the best gift you can find in your husband, is knowing that your husband has found something bigger than what it takes to him every end of the month, and that is called purpose. So you need to ask relevant questions. You need to be purposeful in those questions. And let me mention, a job is a unit of measure of your productivity. It is not a true depiction of who you are. A time is coming you won't be able to work. It's either you leave the work or the work leaves you. So you can't afford to build your marriage on that template. Build your marriage on mutual awareness of purpose, what he has been called to do. I am gainfully employed. I work with an organization, but I've positioned myself in such a way that without the work, I will still be relevant. I will still find satisfaction. Because listen, the money you need to run your family doesn't have to be tangible. It is an intangible thing, an intangible resource. It is the deployment of purpose on the man's part that will make the intangible money become tangible. So what are you looking out for? A guy that is not just desperate to get a job, but a guy that is poised to refine his dreams, to brushing up his skills, to blow, to fan to flame his potential. And that's the kind of guy that will make your life beautiful. Thank you for coming up on board this edition. I hope to talk more about this, hopefully in the next edition. Listen, the ball is in your court. It has always been. And remember, your life today is a consequence of the choices you made yesterday, and today's decision would determine what is going to come your way tomorrow. Thank you once again for coming on board. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on Facebook at Dayo Olajide, and on Instagram at Dayo Olajide, and on Twitter Dayo Olajide. Thank you so much for coming on board. I hope to have you again on another edition. Don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel. God bless you.